Hi, I have something real special to share with my viewers today. When I look at the political chaos in America, and frankly around much of the world, it's hard sometimes to stay hopeful. The endless noise, the anger, the division, the hatred, it can really wear you down. I find myself torn sometimes between exhaustion and despair. But a few weeks ago, I came across something that shifted my outlook. It was a music video by a wonderfully talented woman from New Zealand, Shirley Serban. The song was entitled, "Hey, Sane America." Now, that song doesn't pull punches. It's critical of the Trump-era madness, the lies, the damage. But at the same time, it reminded me of something that I'd almost forgotten. My affection, my empathy, my warmth for Americans who are still fighting for decency, for democracy, and for each other. For the first time in months, I felt warm and connected again to so many American friends and family, who frankly, I felt really distant from for a while now. Today, I'm thrilled to share with you a conversation that I had this past weekend with Shirley herself, the singer, songwriter, and creative force behind not just that song, but a whole library of witty, insightful, and deeply human music. On her YouTube channel, you'll find songs about politics, aging, relationships, the frustrations of daily life, and so much more, all delivered with intelligence, compassion, and a sense of humor that's so sorely needed in the world right now. So, let's begin with the song that started it all for me, "Hey, Sane America." But make sure you stick around for the 25-minute interview with Shirley that follows right after. I think you're really going to enjoy that. Here goes.
Hey, Sane America, we've always kind of pitied you with Fahrenheit and miles and all that processed crap they feed you. Yes, we do. And medical bills through the roof, and tipping too. Hey, Sane America, we kinda keep our distance, grinning as you call your local games World Series and World Champs. We roll our eyes, but despite your weirdness, you are nice. We're on your side. Now, oh, we're baffled honestly. Oh, we're watching nervously. Oh, is this reality? Oh, goodbye democracy. Things have gone crazy. Hey, Sane America, you've given us the movies, but we've noticed that in recent years you've got a lot more loonies. That's no good. Red hats in every neighborhood replace white hoods. Hey, Sane America, the home of innovation, and we know you're fond of Greenland without thinking of invasion. Yes, it's true. Don't need no 51st state too. 50 will do. Oh, it's total lunacy. Oh, we're watching nervously. Oh, is this reality? Oh, goodbye democracy. A con man, grifter, TV star, we know this is not who you are. Like you, we want this all to go away. You might want to move out to us, and we can understand, because we know that you're not him, you're not this way. America, we feel for you. We're hurting and divided too. The world will never ever be the same. It's gone insane. Hey, Sane America, come make your mark in history. These are years when life is testing you, but choose the moral victory. We love you. Show us your strength and courage too. Defeat this monster, we believe in you. Sane America, here's to you. this song's for you. Oh, we love you, can't you see? Oh, we're watching nervously. Oh, we know that you're the key. So defeat this lunacy for democracy. Whoa.
Shirley, it's wonderful having you here.
Thank you.
I came across your video a few weeks ago, Hey, Sane America, and I loved it. I really did. I didn't even realize at the time it was a parody. I just enjoyed it so much. It just expressed so much of what I was feeling. And I shared that to my followers on my channel. I shared it to my Facebook group, and I just thought it was wonderful.
Thank you.
I then found out you had a YouTube channel, and you do this quite a bit. You've got lots of songs out there.
I do.
So tell us tell us about your channel at Shirley. Is it Serban or Serban or Serban?
The pronunciation is Serban, but I probably get that wrong too. It's Romanian. My husband is Romanian, so I've taken on his last name. So it's an exotic name, as it's spelt Serban.
If I may, my legal name was not Nick Majors.
Okay.
I was born Nick Moldavani, and I'm of Hungarian descent.
Okay.
But it was so difficult, the spelling of it. I, at one point in my life, changed it. But when I changed it, my first name was actually, my legal name now is Miklos Nick Majors, which is a nod to my heritage.
Okay.
It was a nod that I'm not hiding it.
No, sure.
I just wanted this easier to spell.
Yeah. Well, look, my maiden name was Booth, and so I was Shirley Booth, and that apparently she was a Hollywood actress back in the day. She got her star in a Hollywood Walk of Fame.
All-known name. She was Hazel the maid.
Hazel, come back, little Sheba. I've never seen any of the movies, but my one aunt apparently was mortified when I was born that my parents were calling me Shirley. You can't name her after that woman. So I've always thought, I've got my star in Hollywood Walk of Fame. I don't need to do any work for it. It's already there. But I like Serban, even though I probably don't say it properly myself. But yeah, you were asking about the YouTube things.
I'll have a display on here of the a banner of your channel so people can see it. Go see it.
Thank you. But with my YouTube, it started by accident during COVID. I used to be a principal of a small elementary school, and as you can imagine, when lockdowns started happening, schools had to really figure out what they were doing on the spot, as with many other businesses. And it was an incredibly stressful time, keeping people happy. The children were actually the least of it. It was the adults that we were trying to pacify, not so much the staff as well. Because we didn't know the answers. And, I was very happy with how our government handled it. I'm from New Zealand. At that point, no one knew what was going on. And it was just sudden. The day before, we're locking down. Bang. And I think it was 6 weeks. And so then we're all scrambling. What do we do with the kids? What do we do with the families? Anyway, so the first weekend after that, we were in lockdown and my brain just wasn't stopping and I wasn't resting. And I write songs, usually silly songs, to relax myself. And so I had Sound of Music in my head for some reason. And so I took the song Do Re Mi from Sound of Music and I just wrote all the COVID stuff that we'd just recently heard into that for myself, for no one else.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, I thought, it matches the video really well. Let me just match it together because I like playing with video. Loved how it turned out. Wanted to email it to a couple of friends to cheer them up. And it was too big for emails. So I had a YouTube channel that I used to put kids' stuff on to play at school. Yeah. So I stuck it on that, knew nothing about public, private, unlisted, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And within a couple of days, it was over 3 million views. So that kind of started the story. It was a stress release for me.
You've just rewritten the book on how to monetize your channel.
Yeah, I mean, people asked me since, how long till you got monetized? I think maybe 20 seconds. However, because I do parody songs, a lot of people think I'm in this for the money and to get rich. Really, if you do songs where the melody belongs to someone else, you're lucky if you get anything. So I'm not doing this to get rich and famous. I'm doing this because mainly I love doing it. And after doing that first song, getting feedback from so many people, this has helped me. I've been able to laugh for the first time in weeks, et cetera, et cetera. I just kept going. And it continued through COVID. I was kind of doing it to keep myself happy. And I found out other people were happy too. COVID came more to a close, although it's still in our communities, of course. And so I started writing about other things that are frustrating things in life that I thought, well, we may as well address the elephants in the room, sing about them, have fun with it, and it helps me and it helps other people too. So yeah, I've since sung about aging, menopause, housework, being a bad cook, cats taking over taking over the bed when they sleep on it, household chores, snoring husbands, mosquitoes. I mean, I just sing about stupid things and people seem to like it. So,
and America and Donald Trump have not escaped your glare.
They have not. And that started, a lot of people think I'm this intensely political person. I'm not. But this started during COVID. So as I was singing about COVID, of course, I was reading a lot about it. And in my role running a school, I needed to be aware of what was happening too. And I didn't know too much about Trump before then. I knew he was president and I knew I didn't like him. But that's about as deep as it went, because I'd never watched The Apprentice, but I'd seen him come up on that. And I'd heard about him before then anyway, and thought, this guy's a dick. He was known as a bad guy before. Why are they giving him a TV show? And that's about as deep as it went. But anyway, during COVID, of course, we get American highlights on our news. And I heard of this one of him telling people to ingest bleach. Oh, wasn't that a good idea? Why don't we drink bleach? And I thought, are you serious? You are being so irresponsible with your position. There are, unfortunately, dumb people in the world who will take what you say at face value, and they could die as a result. Don't treat your role of responsibility so flippantly.
Yes.
So I started getting really mad at him. And so I turned that into a song. My first Donald song didn't mention him, but it was to Jolene, 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 chlorine, 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 chlorine. So that started. And then shortly afterwards, he was planning a big rally in Tulsa. So that, of course, had to become a song as well, 24 hours in Tulsa. So I had to turn that into a song. I just kept hearing more and more about this guy. And I thought, he is being so irresponsible with people's lives. And then, I dug deeper. And it just became an absolute repulsiveness that he gave me. And, this had nothing to do with his politics, because I wasn't interested in politics. Yeah. I don't consider myself Democrat or Republican. This is about the man, and he was just...
I've said many times, okay? I'm not arguing with conservatives about their policies, what they believe. If they want to see his policies, do it. But there's something called integrity.
Absolutely.
Honesty.
Absolutely.
Okay? That makes a difference. You cannot do what he does. The lying, the argumentative, the war he goes through with everybody, the humiliation.
Absolutely.
It's inappropriate. You wouldn't allow in your school. I wouldn't let kids do that. I would never live my life like that.
Absolutely.
But here he is, day after day after day. It's insane.
The saddest thing for me now, and I mean, of course, this has grown and grown and grown, and the more I've learned about him, the more shocked I've been.
Yes.
And the saddest thing for me is not so much him, because he's been a bad guy all his life. I don't know if he has the capacity to become a good guy.
Yeah.
The saddest thing for me is that so many people seem to love him.
Yeah.
And it's like, where is our moral standing? And, I'm not about preaching a high moral standard. Everyone should be like this and these things. But if we don't care about the person next to us and in our society, we're down for a very bad trip.
Yeah. We have such a difficult situation here in Canada. We're on border. I mean, we're beside them. Yeah. Our friends, our family, our activities, our lives are intertwined. We travel back and forth to the States without even thinking about it. We go to events. Our TV is their TV. Their TV is our TV. Movies, whatever.
TV, yeah.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, he has started a conflict out of nowhere. You never heard about this during the election campaign, saying, first thing I'm going to do is go to war with Canada. Well,
it's just ridiculous.
He's so offended the country that how do we deal with our American friends now? Okay? Yeah. Also, I know so many of them are apologetic, but I also know that in reality, something you hinted at, 50% of the American population is accepting of what's happening.
Which is sad and scary. Sad and scary.
Because how do you tell the good American from the bad American, okay? It's just somebody who honestly, legitimately supports Trump. I don't want to know. I don't want it in my life. I don't want it in my, like, people say keep politics out of friendships. True. But I won't keep hatred. I won't keep racism I won't. Politics, I'll keep out. Religion, politics, you have your own, whatever you want. But there's certain qualities.
Basic human values.
Not live next door to a rapist or a child molester. I wouldn't. Okay?
Yep.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah, I agree. I was born in South Africa, and I was just a baby when my parents left. But possibly because of this, I've always been keenly aware that societies can go off the tracks and people accept it. And so when you believe something is wrong, you need to be a loud voice for it. And that's possibly why I've continued to sing about Trump, because I actually think it's a civic duty. In South Africa, we moved back there again for a few months when I was about 6. And I remember being shocked because there were black people begging, and the white people were in the shops and the black people weren't, but they were the ones begging outside and saying to my parents, this is wrong. And within a few weeks, I was used to it. And then I've got ancestry that's German, of course, and you think of everything that the Nazis did, and the general population, they weren't bad people necessarily, but they allowed it to happen. And if we don't learn from history, we're condemned to repeat it. That's my fear for America, is that I don't necessarily think everyone who supports Trump is a bad person. I know many, many American people, including ones who are MAGA, that I've been friends with for years, and it drives me crazy because I think about history. Look beyond the fact that he is ticking your immigration tick point and abortion tick point, or whatever your tick boxes are. Look beyond it and look what he's doing to your country, and look how he values people. And if we ignore this stuff, we are condemned to repeat history. And you're just going to sit there going, oh, but he's taking care of me while other people are suffering. And it's just immoral. Yeah.
As far as not judging people, you're so right. I mean, I mentioned to you I was of European descent.
Mm-hmm.
My parents grew up in World War II.
Yeah.
I read a book or a magazine article actually a couple of years ago about my grandmother was a Nazi.
Yeah.
My parents grew up, my mother was Austrian. She grew up in Nazi Austria as a young woman. She was like 14, 15 years old.
This was normal stuff.
My dad was a Hungarian, which is an ally of Germany.
Mm.
When I grew up, I heard them saying things and doing things. It's the environment they grew up in. And they're my parents. I love them. They're wonderful. They did everything for me. But there was a point in my life where I had to stop and realize they were a product of their upbringing, and it was really bad. And I think there's a lot of people in America who are victims of their upbringing, of their culture, of their community, whatever it may be. And it's hard to write them off because they're not so necessarily evil people.
Exactly.
But what they're proposing and the fact that they can do it is destructive and damaging. And that's really difficult to deal with.
It is.
I don't go around looking for people to be angry with. I'm not an angry person. I smile a lot. I just,
Yep.
But I watch the news now. I don't know what to do. I mean, that's the whole reason I started this channel just last year. It was just outrage. It's like, do you realize what he's doing? And it's like, yes, the world knows.
It's hard as well because, sorry, I think my dog's about to join me. She might make a little cameo. It's hard as well because a lot of them, I don't think want to hear the bad stuff. So how do you get through to that? And, I try and make a point of answering as many comments that come on my channel videos as possible.
Yes.
And I've ended up, and I think I pinned it as a comment on my Sane America video, the one you were talking about, where I said, I'm actually sick of dealing with those who are arguing for him because there's no argument for me that is going to justify the evil stuff that's happening. There's no argument. Talk to me about immigration as a separate thing. Look, I'm an immigrant. You're an immigrant. I'm happy to talk about that stuff. And again, this is not about politics for me.
Yeah.
You cannot accept the person if they are like that and they've got
exactly right. That's exactly the point.
But of course, I mean, I don't know the answers. The answer for me is to keep singing to encourage those of us who are going, what the heck? To go, look, we're not the only ones. And look, I'm about as far away from it geographically as you can be. I'm in New Zealand. It still affects us. There's small businesses that are suffering because of tariffs. We've got a retirement program nationwide that government and people put money into. It's taking a dip for all of us. I run a bed and breakfast now. I'm not in schools anymore. We see Americans come who are nervous about people knowing they're American. They go, "Oh, we're Canadian." It's like you're
Yeah.
American as well. I still like you.
Yeah.
But it's hard. I don't know what the answers are. Gosh, I just wish the man would disappear. But yeah. But unfortunately, when he does, the fact that so many people support him, someone's going to come in his place. But I do believe that Trump has this, and I don't get why, because I don't think he's an intelligent man. He's got this magnetizing power where he draws people to his hatred. And, people say, "Oh, but what about Vance?" I don't think Vance has that same drawing power with people that Trump does. So to me, Trump is a very serious bad guy. There are other bad guys, but I think in Trump's wake, I don't know that they'd have as much impact currently, because he was the reality show star. He's rich, according to them. He's got the bling. He's got so many.
Unfortunately, a lot of people, and I'll say working class because I think of them that way, blue collar, really like when they find a rich person who they consider is their friend.
But he's
okay? Now, with due respect, a few years ago, I had a lot of money. I don't now, but in my life, I came across a lot of money, and I lived like a lottery winner. But I was a pretty regular guy, and people loved that. They really warmed to that.
Sure.
While I bought fancy cars and like that. Porsche guys who own Porsches are like, stay away from the car. Don't touch the car. Don't get fingerprints on it. I'm saying, come on, go for a ride. Put your kid in it. Take a picture. Like that was me manifesting myself.
Sure.
I was amazed at the draw that had with people and how many people really grew to like and love me, because he's a rich guy and he's just like us. And I've noticed when I hear people talking about Trump, the real MAGAs is that same syndrome. They see somebody and they basically say, wow, that rich, successful guy, he's my friend. And they feel bonded with it. He doesn't give a shit about that, as we all know.
Of course.
But they feel that bond. And I've seen that personally. And it's sad, People are like that.
Yeah. And you know what? I do think the TV show The Apprentice has a lot to do with it, because they painted him. I don't know if you've read some of the articles that came out recently about the painting the picture of that show is like he was really in a scummy office, so they blinged it up. He wasn't really as successful as they painted him to be, but TV speaks to people. If it's on TV, it must be true. Yeah.
The plain truth is, financially, he was not successful. He made his money not through hotels, not through golf courses, through that TV show. That's what brought him the fame and brought his brand up. So he's a reality TV star is what he is. He's not a successful businessman or New York real estate entrepreneur. He's not.
He's a thug.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard. I mean, I know people probably watch your channel for similar reasons to how they watch my channel. They just want a little bit of a respite from and to realize that actually other people feel this way as well. And I would love in that capacity to say, here's the answer. This is what you do.
Yes.
Don't know, but at least know that there are other people who feel the same way. And that's something. And if we turn that tide a little bit, that we realize there's actually more people that think he's a con, and we're not going to put up with it. And whatever that means, take action in the streets, whatever. We need to do something.
Question. Yeah. During COVID, am I correct in saying that you had a female prime minister?
Yes, Jacinda Ardern. Yeah.
What was her name?
Jacinda Ardern. Yeah, she's not the prime minister. Yep.
Yeah, I remember following her at the time, and I was really impressed. I remember the press conferences I heard, the things she was doing, things I heard. What came to her? Did she get defeated at the polls, or?
Yeah, so we have our elections every 3 years. And so, and again, I say this as not a massively political person. I've voted different sides of the fence before, and we don't have the same system as Republican, Democrat anyway. We are probably as a nation, or definitely as a nation, much more social leaning than the States is, for example.
Yes.
Probably a bit more like Canada as well.
Yeah.
And so even our more right-wing party, who's currently in power, they're way more left-leaning than the Democrats in America even.
Yeah. I understand that. Yeah.
Just that idea. So when the government during COVID, I thought they did a brilliant job initially, because it was just this huge, nobody knows what's happening for the whole world. And they took it seriously, and they said, look, we know this is going to be hard, but we're locking down. We're stopping this. We're closing our borders. We're doing all this. criticism comes, and I add to it when that continued, and I still think they did the best they could, but I felt personally they were getting a little bit flippant with money, because money has to come from somewhere. So I know I was in a school background then.
Yes.
They were basically saying to schools, here's some money, here's some money, here's some money. Don't spend it on what you think it should be. It should be to de-stress your kids. So buy Lego for your kids. It's like, I really would like more teacher aids. I'd really like more help for those who can't read. Then I buy Lego for them, and just sign this form and say they're traumatized and we'll give you more. Well, we don't really like that. So actually, for this latest election, I nearly voted for the opposition party, the more right ones, mainly to keep a tighter rein on the money. But I couldn't, because they were in bed with some other people, a bit more comfy. But
you know what we've been through in our lifetimes now with COVID. You know, I've lived an incredible life. I've had some wonderful experiences. I've seen a lot of changes. Sure. But the three things that have changed my world beyond anything is the advent of the internet.
Yes.
Donald Trump.
Yes.
And COVID. Now, COVID, in our lifetime, the world shut down. Everything. Sports. I'm a fan of Formula One. You know, Major League Sports, everything. Hospitals, restaurants. The streets were barren. I couldn't believe the way the world shut down and how real that was.
Yes.
And how we avoided a catastrophe. And let's face it, millions of people did die.
Yes.
I mean,
we don't want to lose sight of that. Yeah. So
it's having lived through that, my view of the world and of what my expectation is completely different.
Sure.
I'd never thought I would see something like that in my lifetime. I didn't.
No, you can't predict something like
the other two things, Trump and the internet. Never thought I'd see anything like those two in my lifetime. Okay.
And it's interesting. It's interesting that you mentioned these three things kind of wed together, unfortunately, perfectly to create the storm that we're currently in. You know, if we didn't have you wouldn't have the misinformation that goes around so much. You wouldn't have the rallying of people who get more and more into their destructive causes and destructive mindsets, because they are being fed from social media more and more of the same. You didn't get that beforehand. You know, pre-internet, you would get someone with some wacky ideas. All they would need to do is talk to a few neighbors, and that would be it. Exactly. Surrounded by it all the time. And then you get COVID, which forced people to be more insular, spend more time. And coming from an education background, it's partly why I left education. It changed people, and unfortunately, it changed a lot of people for the worse. And I got tired of dealing with just hostile, awful, misinformed people. Yeah. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but it was, and you see it in retail. I mean, you read so many, I did a few songs about it as well, so many articles about people just being horrible to checkout workers or hospital staff. That didn't happen to the same degree beforehand. And then you get Donald Trump in the mix, and it's almost like he says, you're allowed to hate. You're allowed to spread these misinformations and rumors, and you're allowed to cause each other to become twisted, and it's their fault. And I'm on your side, even though I'm really fleecing you, but it's their fault. And it's just this magic shitstorm. It's this awful storm of these three things together that I think had any one of these things, internet, COVID, or Trump, not been in it, it wouldn't have happened the same way.
Yeah, that's really interesting. You're right. But I think I just look back, and those three things have just had such a huge impact. It's unbelievable. And you're right. I don't think any one of them would have existed without the others. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
look, I'm grateful. You know. I'm grateful for internet. I'm not grateful for COVID, but I'm grateful for learning that comes from COVID. I'm certainly not grateful for Trump, but certainly the mix of these three has created the situation we have now. Yeah.
That's very interesting observation. Well, listen, I want to really thank you for the time you've given me today.
Thank you.
I am going to put this video together. I'm going to feature a couple of your videos. I'll give you a good plug in there. I really encourage all my viewers to visit your channel.
Thank you.
See your songs. There's a political aspect to it, but there's lots of non-political things too, because life has a lot of aspects to it, and you cover them all off, and I'm really pleased with that.
Just be aware, anything you put up, I've got copyright warnings on all my stuff, basically. So, just be aware of it.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
So listen, thank you so much. You have yourself a wonderful time. Last question. Do you guys celebrate in New Zealand? Do you have Victoria Day?
No.
You don't? Today's a holiday in Canada. It's the Queen's birthday. Victoria Day.
we have King's birthday, which we will have on I think it's the 1st of June this year. It's always around June.
Oh, ours was always the Queen Victoria Day is May 24th.
Okay.
So the closest Monday to that, the Monday before that is when we celebrate it. So today was Victoria Day here in Canada.
Oh, happy Victoria Day to you. We have King's birthday, which used to, of course, be Queen's birthday, and I believe that's the first Monday in June. So maybe it's because it's so close to that time. Yeah.
And if you talk about the first Monday in June, King Charles will be coming to Canada on May 28th to open our Parliament.
Well, there you go. You can tell him happy birthday from us on King's birthday in New Zealand, even though I know it's not his birthday. The joys of being in the Commonwealth.
Yeah, thank you so much. Big thanks for staying with us right till the end. We'd really appreciate it if you'd like the video. Give us your comments. Love to hear what you got to say, and subscribe to the channel. Here's a few other videos that you may enjoy. Thanks a lot. Have yourself a great week.